여러분 안녕하세요. 공급망 한 말씀 드리겠습니다. Today's episode is about what lessons did Toyota learn from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. Have you ever heard of the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, which struck Tohoku province of Japan? On March 11, 2011, an earthquake of magnitude 9.0 struck the Pacific coast of Tohoku, Japan. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Japan and the fourth most powerful earthquake in the world since 1900. The image on the left is the situation of Japanese firms in automotive electronics industry at the time. Due to the earthquake, a lot of factories and suppliers were shut down, and Toyota was affected by the shutdown of its factories and had to endure a lot of loss. The Economist reported Toyota's national supply chain was severely affected by the natural disaster. In fact, Toyota built several backup facilities to prepare for natural disasters such as an earthquake. In 2011 Tohoku earthquake, the Miyagi factory in the north, and in 2016 Kumamoto earthquake, the Fukuoka factory in the south was utilized as the key production facility. Toyota went through ups and downs like any other firm, not only the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, but also the Thailand flood in the same year, Toyota recall crisis, and so on. During this tough time, Toyota learned various lessons and immediately started to apply these lessons. According to a news article in August, Toyota's profit in the second quarter of this year is 158.8 billion yen, which is $1.5 billion, which is much better than the other global auto manufacturers like Daimler or Volkswagen. So, how could Toyota tackle the COVID 19 crisis and the supply chain disruption? What lessons did Toyota learn and apply to tackle this pandemic? The first is the importance of detecting a problem in the supply chain ASAP. In 2011, when the earthquake struck Toyota, it took almost 2 weeks to detect the problem inside the supply chain. After the earthquake, Toyota invested heavily on enhancing the visibility of its supply chain and could finally detect the problem in its detail within 12 hours. The second is building partnership with various suppliers and diversifying risk. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, Toyota diversified its supply source through building partnerships with various suppliers in Southeast Asian countries, ranging from Indonesia, Vietnam, to Thailand. Lastly, minimizing break-even sales volumes through cost reduction. Toyota's cost reduction affects the entire company's profit up to $2.8 billion annually. If the cost is reduced, the break-even sales volume decreases and a firm can survive with smaller sales volume. Over the last decade, Toyota reduced its break-even sales volume by 2 million vehicles. Through a disaster called the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, Toyota learned the importance of detecting a problem in the supply chain ASAP, risk diversification through partnership with various suppliers. Last but not least, the strategy of minimizing break-even sales volumes through cost reduction. In this episode, we learned the three lessons Toyota learned from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and how they applied these lessons to tackle supply chain disruption during COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. 이상으로 공급망 한 말씀 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다.